Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, Peter Likes Books. Because I do. I love books. And I'm slowly getting back into the groove of things. And I have been posting videos over here trying to, on a pretty regular basis, to, you know, kind of get my momentum going again on my BookTube channel, to kind of find my place over here on BookTube again. And, you know, I've just been kind of like thinking to myself a lot about reading and books and Audible and the book club. And I don't know, maybe I think, maybe far away, maybe I think too much about all of this. I don't know, you know? Maybe I just think too deep about all of this, but I was thinking about the reading challenge for 2022, and that was something that I was always very excited about, you know, in past years, if you know. And so I had got on my Goodreads to see what my reading challenge was, and I had set my goal for 104 books, because I think last year my goal was 102 books, and I achieved that. And so I got on there, and I saw that I had only read 12 books this year. And hold on, 12 books? Did that put... Oh, and it didn't... I have 13 books, because I haven't put the Fangirl manga that I just finished on there. 13! Gotta count that one. So anyway, and the last book that I completed, other than that, the last, like, you know, book that I was listening to on Audible, or the, you know, physical copy book that I actually read, was, I was reading Interview with the Vampire by Anne Rice. And I DNF'd it because I got like halfway through it and I just really didn't enjoy it. And if you guys remember, at that time, that book was part of the, you know, the book club that I posted on Instagram. So I went in here and I looked, and I was looking at these books, and I was like, I don't even remember some of these books that I've read. Some of them I do. Some of them I remember very, very well, and others I don't. And so I was like, maybe I'll go in and I'll do another ranking. I'll rank like all of the books I read in order, you know, this year. Because there's only, you know, 13 or 14 at this point. But anyway, when I was looking through there, I was thinking about this Anne Rice book. Now, I will tell you that I prepared Mel, my book club partner. We were talking last night on the phone, and I said, okay, before you see my video title tomorrow, don't freak out. I'm not quitting a true crime book club. She goes, you better not be. I go, I'm not, because we're starting it up again. So if you didn't know, True Crime Book Club is starting again in January. I did a whole video talking about that. I talked about the book that we're reading, which I believe is called Last Night in Aurora. And so we're really excited about that. The book club will be starting January 1st. You can read the book now if you want to. And then we will be doing the live stream sometime toward the end of January. So True Crime Book Club is starting up again in January. And I'm really, really excited about that, because I feel like that will give me some accountability and kind of push me to read. But anyway, so I was telling her about that. I was like, don't stress out when you see the title of this video or whatever. It's not about True Crime Book Club. But, you know, back in the day, one of the reasons why I started the True Crime Book Club, and I don't know if people remember this. If you've been around for a while, you'll remember this. If not, probably not. But before True Crime Book Club was a True Crime Book Club, it was Peter's Book Club. And I read a lot of, like, I picked a lot of, like, pop culture books in there. Like, we read, like, My Sweet Audrina by V.C. Andrews and things like that. And that year, I think it was April when it came out, like the book had just come out like a month before or whatever, we read I'll Be Gone in the Dark, One Woman's Search for the Golden State Killer, One Woman's Obsessive Search for the Golden State Killer. And so Mel and I, and that was when she had started helping with the book club and whatever, and she was like, hey, she contacted me and was like, do you want me to do anything on the back end and whatever. And so, you know, that's when Mel and I, our friendship really started to grow. And towards the end of that year, when we were deciding, like, we were trying to pick a theme going forward for the next year of what we were going to do. And I said, you know, something to her about, like, loving true crime. And she said, why don't we just make the whole book club just a true crime book club? And I said, well, what about people that won't read true crime? And we were both kind of like, but we love true crime. So all the people that love true crime will want to read true crime, right? So that's when we changed the book club over to being a true crime book club. But I've always just wanted to have, like, a book club because, you know, I've talked about my social anxiety in all of my videos, and my social anxiety is so bad that, like, for me to, like, go to a library or a bookstore and be part of a book club is, like, really terrifying to me. And I've always wanted to do that. In fact, if you watch my vlog, you know, my neighbor asked me, because she's part of a neighborhood book club with all of these, you know, women in the neighborhood, and she asked me, she said, you know, we have a spot open, would you like to be part of this book club? And I was like, I don't know what I think about all that. And my husband was like, I think that would be really good for you, you know, like they only meet once a month, they pick a book, you know, but it was like, they picked like a Rosamund Pilcher book, which I'm not saying anything about Rosamund Pilcher, but that wasn't like the kind of book club that I wanted to be in, you know, they pick romances and things like that. So anyway, so I was like, you know, like that's why I had started that book club back in the day. Well, I think it was in 2021, I decided, I think it was 2021, that I was going to start on Instagram. I was going to start just picking a book every single month. And that would be, I was going to do Peter's Book Club on Instagram. And then I would just post a book, and then that would be the book, and whoever wanted to read it could read it with me. And then at the end of the month, I would do a review over here on this channel of that book and what I thought of that book and things like that, right? So I can't remember the exact dates, but Anne Rice passed away, and so I thought, well, we should read Interview with the Vampire, and why can't I'm like having such like today before I got on here, I was like, I'm having such a hard time remembering certain things, and so hold on a second. Joan Didion, I just remembered it before I even looked it up. Joan Didion had passed away too, who I had watched this fantastic documentary of, right? And I think that one of the last books that we read, a David Sedaris holiday book before we turned it into a true crime book club, but the January book was gonna be A Year of Magical Thinking, okay, by Joan Didion, which I still to this day have not read. I had heard and watching this YouTube video with Dan Levy from Schitt's Creek. He did this video, 10 things he always has to have, and one of them was a copy of Joan Didion's Slouching Towards Bethlehem. So I decided, I think it was January, that the two books that we were going to read were Joan Didion's Slouching Towards Bethlehem and Anne Rice's Interview with the Vampire, because I had never read it. I had seen the movie, maybe parts of it, way back in the day, but I had never read it, right? So those were going to be the January books. Well, I read Slouching Towards Bethlehem, and I absolutely loved it. It's a beautiful book. It's amazing. Didn't I? Why is that not on there? Well, I know that I finished Slouching Towards Bethlehem. And that was an amazing book. Maybe I read it in December? I don't know. So anyway, because it's not on... Is it on my Goodreads list? I don't see it on here. Why is it not on here? Okay, that's crazy. I just looked through there and it's not even on there. So I have no idea, but it's not. So anyway, yeah, I'll look at that later. I'll figure out why I didn't put that on there. But I read Slouching Towards Bethlehem and loved it. But then I started reading Interview with the Vampire, and I just really couldn't get into it, you guys. I mean, it was okay. It wasn't bad. And I got I don't know, a third of the way through it or something like that. And I just was like, I DNF'd it. I just was like, when I started trying to read again, I was like, that was the last book that I had stopped reading. And so I was like, when I started reading again, I was like, I'm not into this. I've got to, do something else, which is why I picked up the Simone St. James book, the Book of Cold Cases. And that's why I started listening to that book, because I was like, I can't do, and I have a very, very difficult time DNFing books, you guys, a really difficult time. And so I was like, okay, you just need to DNF it and it'll be done and whatever. So I love Christopher Rice. I love her son's writing, but I don't know, there was just something about the Anne Rice book. And so many people were like, give it another try. And I might, at some point, give it another try. But, so, that was, I think, April or May that I started listening to the Simone St. James book. And it's kind of gone on and on and on and on and on. And several people through, the months have asked me, are you going to bring back Peter's Book Club on Instagram? Because I love to see what books you recommended. And I tried to pick out books that were new, that had just come out, And they were saying, people would say I want to read with you, and I want to read a book that you're reading, and are you going to do this again, and whatever. And in all honesty, you guys, I really just didn't think that many people were that interested in it. I just really didn't think that many people cared, or that many people wanted to be part of it or read that book. And so I kept it up because I really enjoyed doing it. I really enjoyed, it was really fun for me to go in and pick a book to read for each month. But I just was kind of like, I just don't really think that people care, you know? And in all honesty, and I think most people know this, like this has been a difficult year for me. And so a lot of the questions that I've asked myself going forward, especially going forward into 2023 is, what things do I want to continue? And what things do I want to get rid of? And what things do I want to let go of, you know? And not carry the weight anymore, so to speak. And so that book club was one of them. And I got a message from somebody last week, and they said, I know January's coming up, and you had mentioned in a vlog a while ago, I don't even remember mentioning this, you guys, in a vlog, that you were thinking about whether or not you were going to start the book club up on Instagram again. They didn't mean the True Crime Book Club, okay, because I made that very clear that we're coming back with this. But they said, you know, I just wanted to know whether or not you're going to start this book club up again, because I always, like, I only read one book a month, but the book that I read was the book that you chose. And it really, like, motivated me to read. And so I got this message, and I was like, wow. Like, that is so cool, you know? That just because I picked some book randomly and posted a picture of it on Instagram, that motivated that person to read one book a month, you know, which is 12 books a year. Which I could really use that kind of motivation right now, you know? And so I started thinking about it, and I thought, well, maybe I should bring it back. And then I was like, you know, if you watch my video from yesterday, it was like, do I get rid of all my books? Do I keep all my books? I don't know what to do anymore. You can tell I'm having a lot of conversations in my head about books, right? So anyway, I was like, I don't know what to do, you know? And in all honesty, I will tell you, a true crime book club for me is not tons of work. Mel does all the Facebook stuff. Thank you so much, Mel. I mean, Mel is just, she is the most fantastic in the entire world, and I love her so much, and she's such a dear friend. I just love Mel so much. But she does all the Facebook stuff. I don't have to do any of that, right? I just go in there and, like, read the posts that people say and stuff like that. And so she does all the back end stuff to it. We decide the book together. So, I mean, that's like literally like a conversation that we have on the phone for like 20 minutes. Like, she'll throw some ideas out and I'll throw some ideas out. Usually it goes like this. She'll pick a book that's 18 hours and I'll go, Mel, it's 18 hours on Audible. And she'll say, I know, but I wanted to read about the mob, because she always picks mob books. I'm kind of teasing her right now. But I'll be like, Mel, it's 18 hours long, right? And so then she'll say, okay. And then she'll send me another book and it's 17 hours. And she'll say, well, this one's a lot shorter. And I'll be like, Mel, it's 17 hours. So then we'll agree on a book that's like 10 hours long. No, but truly that is kind of how it goes. A lot of what I look at, well, we look to see if books are available on Audible, Amazon, thrift books, you know, and mostly libraries, because Mel reads a lot of her books through the libraries, and so do a lot of people in the book club. So we want to make sure that it's available on all platforms, you know, so people can listen to it, you know, if they can't read a book, and that they can get it from the library if it's not accessible otherwise, and then we try to announce it early enough so that people can get on the list for the library. So that's easy for me, you know, like the True Crime Book Club is really just doing a live stream and reading the book, and Mel and I talking about the book. It's other than that, I mean, we'll have several conversations throughout the month about what we thought about the book, or like other documentaries or research that we saw about it. But other than that, it's not real deep, you know? And so, I don't know, I was thinking about it, and I was like, really all it takes you is to run Peter's Book Club is to pick a book, and then to post the book, and to read the book, and to do a video about it. And I was like, well, that's not really that hard. So why wouldn't you continue it? So I'm thinking, going into January, I am going to continue Peter's Book Club and bring it back, because, you know, I haven't done it since January of 2022. And let me know, but I really want to know in the comment section below if there, you know, how many of you out there are reading it, or if those books, or if you could care less, or, I mean, it's not going to hurt my feelings if you say I've never read one of the books that you posted over there. If you guys have, or if you've noticed it, or if you've even looked into those books, please let me know that as well. I just kind of want to know, like, you know, how many people are, like, invested in that and whatnot. Because, I mean, if it's, like, 2 people, in all honesty, like, I'll just email you an idea. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have to do all that, but it's fun. It was fun for me to do, too. And it also made me, I don't know, and maybe that's something that I need to put over on, like, you know, like, my Peter Likes Books Instagram or something like that, because that one's real active. I don't think I've been over there on that for, I don't know, months at this point. So anyway, that's just what I was thinking. I was thinking, should I quit the book club, or should I continue the book club? So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and also let me know if you're enjoying my posting on a regular schedule. And I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.